All right, so UFC 314, Paddy Pimblett, as Renato Moicano likes to say, versus Michael Chandler is taking place this weekend, April 12th at the Caixa Center in Miami, Florida. And if we take a look at the live odds here, Michael Chandler is currently sitting at a plus 136. Paddy Pimblett is at a minus 162. I don't agree with these odds at all. Paddy Pimblett said he's a scouser and we don't get knocked out. No, but in all seriousness, Paddy Pimblett has some of the worst boxing defense I've ever seen at the UFC level, you know. And if we take a look at his record, he's only knocked out one guy on the feet. And I see this fight primarily staying on the feet. I know Paddy Pimblett has a couple good submissions. Grappling, jiu-jitsu is his bread and butter. But will he be able to take Michael Chandler down? And I don't think so. I mean, if we look, the UFC, let's be real. The UFC has been giving him tailor-made matchups to make him look good because all the lightweight stars are going to retire in the next 3, maybe 4 years. You know, Dustin Poirier is on his retirement fight. He already announced that his last fight is going to be his last one. His next fight is going to be his last one. Charles Oliveira is probably not staying around for too much longer. He's already pretty old and he's a veteran at this point. The same can be said for Michael Chandler, the Gages, and you know, so and so forth. So the UFC is really trying to build their next UFC lightweight star. And I think Paddy Pimblett, if we're being honest, Michael Chandler's probably the easiest one in the top 5 for Paddy Pimblett to go against. I'm not saying the easiest, but the most winnable matchup for Paddy. So, and I still don't think Paddy Pimblett's going to be able to get this one done. I think Michael Chandler's going to chin him. I mean, if we take a look at Michael Chandler's profile here, he's hanging with the top level guys, Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier, Tony Ferguson. I mean, not Tony Ferguson, man, that one hurts, but Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira again. So this guy is competing against the top level opponents at lightweight. And it's not like Michael Chandler is getting absolutely dominated in all of these fights, except for maybe his last bout with Charles Oliveira. That was a complete domination besides the 5th round. And if we take a look at his record, he's only been submitted once in his entire MMA career. Yeah, only been submitted once, and that was by Dustin Poirier. That was just recently, or not too recently. It was in 2022. I know he was waiting a while for that Conor McGregor fight, and it didn't end up happening. But Michael Chandler is up there with the top-level lightweights. Even though he hasn't won against any top-level lightweights just yet, he's not getting blown out the water. He is always in the fight. And, you know, we got the Oliveiras, the Gaethjes, the Poiriers, and then we got Michael Chandler right here. So he's not too far below the top-level lightweights. And Paddy Pimblett leaves his chin right up in the air. He pretty much lost to Jared Gordon. Let's be real here. He was gifted the decision that night. Tony Ferguson, he wasn't able to knock out Tony Ferguson. I mean, the corpse of Tony Ferguson, what was he on, like a 7-fight win streak, a losing streak when he fought him? And even Bobby Green was able to finish and submit Tony Ferguson. The same can't be said towards Paddy Pimblett. And in this fight, I can see Paddy Pimblett being able to touch and hit Michael Chandler a bit more than Michael Chandler is able to hit him. But all it takes is the one overhand right to finish the night. Paddy Pimblett does rely on his chin a little bit too much. He does leave it up in the air in some of the exchanges, and that is very worrisome for me in this fight. I see everyone going with Paddy, and I'm really here to ask you, what does Paddy Pimblett have for Michael Chandler besides the submission? He's not going to be able to take him down unless, you know, Michael Chandler has a brain fart moment like he always does in all of his fights. He is pretty low IQ, so we may try to make it more exciting, but Paddy Pimblett is not going to be able to take Michael Chandler down. He isn't an Oliveira. He isn't a Dustin Poirier. He's not some physical specimen, Paddy Pimblett. He has the technique on the ground to be able to submit and put away Michael Chandler, but what good is your jiu-jitsu if you're unable to wrestle and get the fight to the ground? Last point of this video is that Paddy Pimblett has never gone a full 5 hard rounds in the UFC. He has, I think, twice before, but that was, you know, lower level competition. Michael Chandler, on the other hand, has proven that he can go 5 full hard rounds against Charles Oliveira just in his last bout, and he was able to hurt him in the last round after getting a wrestling clinic put on him. Paddy Pimblett is tiring out after 2 rounds of Jared Gordon beating him up, after the 2nd round of Tony Ferguson. Paddy Pimblett is just not ready for this step up in competition. I know that this is the most winnable matchup for him in the top 5, but they probably should have taken his time a little bit more with Paddy Pimblett. He needs to work on his cardio, his defense. He's going to get mauled in the top 5 in the lightweight division. If Jared Gordon was able to put hands on you, imagine what a Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev and Arman Sarukian, Justin Gaethje, imagine what they would do to you. But that's gonna be all I have for you guys today. Come back to this video when Michael Chandler chins Paddy Pimblett.